Hello, my name is Brian and welcome to Overland Calling. Today we're going to be going through the 30-day review of the Sparks Overland gas-powered heater. Spoiler alert, this thing's been working pretty dang good. All right, so taking a closer look here. Outer case, what do we got? Nice, sturdy carry handles. And they are self-retracting, so you don't have to listen to them bang on the trail while you're driving down the road. It has those handles on both sides. Now you've got this dust cover for your intake vent. The louvers are angled down and they do keep rain from getting in there. Tested. It is setting on some super sturdy aluminum legs here that are bolted in. And I don't know if you can see it, but a nice thick rubber pad underneath there. Been holding up well. I have no idea what this box is, but I'm sure it does something very useful. It does not get hot. And just so you know, you can put your hand underneath with this muffler. Now, I wouldn't touch it or anything, but it doesn't get super hot either. Coming around to this side, we have this screw-on fitting here. This sucker is heavy duty. All metal, except of course for the little gasket that goes around it. This thing has not rattled loose while I'm driving on the trail. Corrugated road, rough trails, highway, you name it, it stays put. That is where you're going to put your hose to actually go in the heater itself. Let's take a peek inside. Two good latches. They have not come unlatched going down the road. Inside there is where I keep my hose and my cords. It also comes with this nice, I guess, watertight bag. I haven't dunked it in the water or anything, but it's super high quality. Inside of it, I keep my cords. So the first cord is the power cord. It's got a 2-prong fitting that fits in the back, and then a 12-volt cigarette plug. It also has an on and off switch. The second cord here is what goes into your control module. We'll take a look at this in detail later. And it will come with a magnet on the back. Mine came off. Don't worry, I contacted them and they already mentioned that they'd heard it before and they put a fix in place. So now you're getting 3M tape there that should hold it like a rock. It will hold on this little magnet. Just like that, so that you can, stick it up wherever you need to magnetically, and it will also store right here if you need it to. But I haven't had a problem just keeping it in the bag. Kind of protects it a little bit more too. Now, when it's in use, you just take this cord out and you just leave it dangling over. It will be connected all the time. Don't worry, it has worked just fine. I don't latch the side that it's on, but I do latch the other side just to make sure the wind doesn't come up and somehow raise this lid up. All right, let's take a peek inside here. There's our fuel pump. See if I can get you a better view of that sucker. I cannot hear it whenever I'm in my tent or in my awning area. It's got a little rubber damper right here. Keeps the tap, tap, tapping away. That's going to feed fuel to your, that's going to feed fuel to your gas-powered heater. I'll put the specs up there on screen. And then we have our gas tank, 2.2 gallons. The vent is located right here. I have not had any problems with major spillage or anything like that, even going on rough trails. Over here, you've got a nice heavy-duty fuel cap. And it's self-retaining, so you can't lose it. Love that. And then that, of course, goes into your gas tank. They do also include this handy-dandy, let me see if I can get it to come out. This is a nice fuel funnel. It does the trick. Fits right in there, and you can pour your gas in. I have Rotopax, so I don't use it because they've got a feature where they don't let the gas out till you want it to. So I just kind of keep it stuffed right in there as a, just in case. Now for operation, you're going to connect your power cord right in here. Take that little cap off, and then this end of the two-prong connector goes in, clicks in place there. If you need to take it out, you just pick up this little toggle right here, push it, and it comes right out. Then over here on the side, that's where you're going to put your air hose. Now, for my air hose, I did buy the zip-in edition. I think it cost me about $50. Money well spent though. It locks everything in all nice and tight, and it comes with this basically air diverter. So I can set the air to go wherever I need it to. Love that. This end, it's got a nice silicone fitting. These are going to be just like the fittings that you see on your car for the hot water. So they can take the heat. Silicone fittings, I think, but don't quote me on that. And then I'm going to put it right in here. Fits in nice and tight. I can pull it. It does not pull itself out. So now we got our hose connected. This was my first problem, was I wanted to get it up to my rooftop tent, but this thing doesn't have a lot of stretch to it, and it wouldn't quite fit. I propped it up on top of a Milwaukee pack-out case, and it fit. It got just high enough to get right up in here. Cool, too easy. Had a solution. Now, I should let you know, this product's not sponsored. I paid my own money for this product, and they didn't ask me to make a video. But what I did do is I emailed them, and I mentioned that my hose wasn't quite long enough when I also was asking for a discount code in case any viewers wanted to, get some money off if they could help them out. Which, by the way, they gave me, and that discount code is in the video description. So anyway, hose, not long enough. Too easy. They actually gave me an extension hose. Now, they didn't just give me a length of hose, tell me to use some duct tape and go have fun. No, this thing's legit. So, I don't know if you can see that or not, but this is a plastic fitting with little ridges on here to hold it in place. And then I've got another one of those little silicone boots. Too easy. That plugs in. This end goes right in here. Fits super tight. And then I got all the, whoops, you can't even see it. And then I got all the hose I want. I actually run it over here and I put it in my side window. That way I can crawl up using the back entrance. Now, in case you notice this thing, this is an enclosed awning. It's got a floor, roof, everything. Not quite airtight, but it definitely does keep the heat in. I work from the road. I also work East Coast hours, so I'm up 2 hours before the sun even rises. And I'm usually doing YouTube stuff well after the sun goes down, and even in the desert, it gets cold at night. So I'm looking at temps in the 40s and stuff like that, but while I was up in Colorado, I was using it in temperatures in the 20s, and it was keeping me alive. And for this demonstration, I'm gonna actually hook it up in my awning, because I'll need it tonight. Just so you know, this thing is not super light. It is made out of, aluminum housing and all that stuff, so they do everything they can to keep the weight down. But especially if you've got it full of gas, it'll have a little weight to it. But I don't know, I'm not exactly in shape, and I'm over 50, and I can carry it. And my back ain't all that great either. So I'm gonna go set it up in the awning. Why don't you come check it out? Besides, the sun's out and the light is much better over here. I would like to welcome you to Valley of the Gods. Amazing place, and if you've never been here, I definitely recommend it. And we are camped at one of its prime spots, located right at the base of Rooster Butte. All right, so I'm gonna hook this thing up and I'm gonna use it to heat my awning and keep me nice and warm tonight and early in the morning when I'm working. Yes, I could move it and, put it in my tent and keep moving it back and forth. Or they also have an air diverter where you can split this hose into two. So I could use it to heat my awning and my tent at the same time. I do not have that for this trip. So we're going manual mode. So I've got this hose here. That's going to go into my zipper compartment. Just so you know, this cord here is about 20 feet long. I have never wanted for it to be longer. It's perfectly fine. Again, we got that 2-prong connection. Plug that in the back here. Then I'm just going to feed my power cord in there. Next, I'm going to take my control module, toss it into the awning room as well. You've got these cutouts here for the cords and the zippers. Just fits right in just like that. That zipper runs down there. And then I can zipper it into place. Voila. And it holds pretty good. All right, so I've been using this thing, like I said, for 30 days. But I've been using it pretty much the last 3-4 days straight. I have to refill it with gas. So I figured I'd show you all that while we're on this little ride. Now I'm not gonna miss that sun setting. So we may have to pick up the pace a little bit here. So anyway, this is a Rotopax container. One of the main reasons I bought this was because they use the same fuel as my Gladiator. They both use gas. Too easy. If you've never used Rotopax before, you should know that little cover there, it's designed to come off. I did not know that the first time. I looked like a complete idiot. Then you're going to take your nozzle, bring it right out here, put it through that thing, and screw it into place. I usually do it so that this little tab here is at the bottom. You'll see why later. Then it's got its fitting. So I can move that all the way to unlock. It's supposed to come back, but I think I may have half broke it. I'm using a Rotopax, so I do not need to use that funnel. I take my Rotopax, tip it in just like that, and then I push down. So you can kind of see it up close there. That little ridge just rests on top and it fills all the way up. And voila, we're done. Legit, I had to watch a video on how to use that dang thing. But, oh well, here we go. Fuel cap back on. We are ready for magic. I want you to see how you can tell what your fuel level is. I don't think you can see it with the camera, but that's a little hose right there. And you'll actually be able to see your fuel level come up. You're not going to have that piece of black tape on there, though. That's what I put to do my fuel testing. But we're going to get into that one later. All right. Now let's get this bad boy started up. So this box here It is actually it's not a regular Pelican case, it's a powered system. So I've got all these connections are fused. The connections that I use for my 12 volt connections, I do fuse those to 15 amps. So they're going to be higher than the standard 10. I just put in a couple 12 volt plugs. Now, I want you to know, I tested this with my Anker C300 DC, and it could not run it. It blew the circuit. The power draw on this thing's going to be about 95 watts. So hopefully we got a pretty good view of the controller. It tells you pretty much exactly what to do. You can turn this knob and you can set your thermostat. There's a little pop-up here that says press 2 seconds to start. You can tell it's in thermostat mode right now. It does have thermostat and manual because it's going to tell you the temperature that the room is and then your set point as well. If you press this button one time, it then switches it to manual mode. Pretty darn cool. And then this little knob here is going to be what controls the fan speed. I've never really used it above fan speed of 2, but to each his own. If I want to start it, I do exactly what that little pop-up says. Press 2 seconds to start. All right. 1, 2. All right, so there it is, fuel pump. That's the tick. Now keep in mind, that is with the microphone right next to the dang thing. You can hear the combustion start to happen. It's starting to kick to life. Now with that thing closed, it's nice and quiet. Inside my awning, I don't hear a single thing at all, other than the rush of the air. That's what I'm going to hear. It's just that air starting to ramp up. There's also a Bluetooth app, so you can use it on your phone. Start up, it's just connecting in here. You can see it's on manual mode, fan speed of 2. If I want it to go to thermostat, I just press that button there, and I can increase the fan speed too. So, 2, easy. Once I'm done, get it where I want it, I hit that button, it'll be red if you haven't started it yet, and it'll turn to green when it's on. If you want to turn it off, you just hit it and it will switch it off as well. Now on the controller, it's going to give me my elevation, which is kind of cool. It does adjust for elevation. I think it's good up to 16,000 feet. But another thing it says, press 2 seconds to stop. Well, guess what happens if you push that button for 2 seconds? It beeps and it goes into cool down mode. You do need to leave the power on and let it cool down without turning it off here at the power source. It's going to go through its cool down sequence and get everything all nice and shut down. And it'll tell you, cooling down. Do not restart. Guess what it does when it's done with this cool down? Yep, it tells you can start it. Also, just so you know, this thing's got a built-in carbon monoxide detector as well. Let's go through some of the 30-day stuff now that we're done with all the operations and how you set it up and all that good stuff. Just so you know, this is a quality, sturdy product. Can it hold 190 pounds of dad bod? Yeah, it can. Is it a comfortable seat? Well, no, it's not. But it can stand up to it. All right. I got a list because I can never remember all this stuff. It is not cheap. It's a quality product and you're going to pay a quality price. I paid over $1,500 for this thing. It does come with a 2-year warranty, serviceable in the United States. The company is US based and these things are assembled in Colorado. Comes with a 4 kilowatt, 14,000 BTU pellet gas air heater and that 2.2 gallon internal gas tank that I mentioned. Got up to 16,000 feet. Couple of the details, just so you know, this gas tank is not an enclosed system. It will off gas, gas evaporates when it gets hot, all that good stuff. So when I had this thing stored in my garage and I left it there overnight, came back out the next day, I could smell gas in the garage. So keep this thing in the shed or something like that. Now I mentioned that power draw, 95 watts on startup. Running on low fan speed, it draws 17 watts. Medium fan speed, 23 watts, 25 watts for the third, 31 watts for the fourth, and 41 watts for the fifth. Now for fuel consumption. Now, I didn't do any highly scientific testing. I took a piece of tape and I put it on the little tube that it's got to show how full it is. But I ran it for 13 hours straight, took it to the gas station, filled it up, and it took 0.79 gallons. I also did a bunch of intermittent testing where I ran it for 2 hours and 15 minutes, and then 3 hours and 30 minutes, 1 hour and 30 minutes, 2 hours and 45 minutes, 49 minutes, and 8 hours and 20 minutes. With all those startups and stops and all that good stuff, sitting there over, I think, 3 days, it used 1.23 gallons. Then I ran it again for 13 hours and 21 minutes, and it used 0.84 gallons. At least to the best of my testing. Like I say, it's not scientific, but that'll give you a general idea of fuel consumption with both stop-start and with the straight run time. After that, I did some more testing, but I forgot to record the times and I gave up because it was a pain in the butt. Does pretty darn good on fuel consumption. Whenever you're running it, you want to keep it, especially if the gas is starting to get low, keep it on a level surface. If it's tilted one way or another, I don't know where the actual fuel comes out of the tank at, but it will. If you've got it tipped, it'll still have gas in it and it'll run out. If it runs out of fuel, you'll hear the fuel pump go tick, 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 because it's trying to feed fuel in that system. I did it. I know for a fact that's exactly what it does. Did it work after that? Yep. I filled it up with gas. I ran it. It started just fine. It self-primes. There is no priming mode. There is a priming mode. You can push a button. You can get to it. But I never used it. First time getting it out of the box, I filled it up with gas. I pressed that button for 2 seconds. It did all the priming, everything for me. And then that was it. So self-primes, no crazy instructions or anything like that. Just, plug everything in and push the dang button. Or load up the app, push the button on your app. Too easy. Running with the single hose just to my rooftop tent, it did get it pretty hot and I had to open up a window because it was just too much heat going in there. Whenever I put that hose extension on, it seemed to definitely cool it down quite a bit. And it kept it, it was about 40 degrees outside and it kept it a nice toasty 72 degrees inside. I've tested this in the rain, in the snow, in the wind, you name it. It's worked like a champ. I was actually in Colorado and a surprise snowstorm came and got me. And I used this sucker to run it all night in my awning area to keep the ceiling of the awning hot enough to kind of melt that snow off so it wouldn't collapse it in. Should I have taken my awning down? Yep, absolutely I should have, but I had elevation sickness because I was at 13,000 feet. And I was down hard. So I just cranked on that heater and hoped and laid in bed. and woke up the next morning to see what happened. Perfectly fine. Now, it's expensive. Like I say, it was $1,500, and I have a $200 diesel heater at home. I bought it on Black Friday sale, and it's sitting in my garage. It's never even had a drop of diesel in it. Why didn't I bring that out with me? Well, I've got fuel leakage problems because those darn Chinese diesel heater gas like caps or diesel caps, they're made to leak, and all that good stuff. But that wasn't the main reason. These things are designed to catch fire. I'm not going to go to the lowest bidder for that. So I paid for quality, because if I'm running this in my rooftop tent, it is directly below me. If it catches fire, then I'm going to catch fire. And I'm not taking that sort of risk. I won't be able to sleep with that. So that's why my diesel heater is still sitting in my garage unused. If somebody's in Virginia and wants a good deal on a diesel heater, and you let me know in the comments. Well, hopefully, if nothing else, you guys are enjoying the view. I really like this product. I like the company. I like their customer service. The only problem I've had in 30 days of using it is that magnet coming off. And yeah, too easy. They already solved that before I even let them know about it. I thought it was going to be all slick, but nope. They sent me a picture with their new design, changed things up, so nobody else has to worry about it. Now, I'm sure I've missed a bunch of stuff. If there's any questions that you have, let me know. I make these videos to help people out. I don't make a dime if you purchase this. So hit the link. That'll take you to their website for Sparks Overland. And then you can put in my code for Overland Calling and get a discount. I don't get a kickback or anything like that. I just found a quality product, and I wanted to tell people about it. So I hope this helped you out. If you have any questions, let me know. If you get any comments, any ways that I can, improve, or any additional tests you want me to do, hey, let me know. My trip's not over yet. I'll probably have about 2 weeks after this video comes out before I make my way home. So I can always run some more testing. And till next time, enjoy the ride.